Hey K-popers, and welcome back to Hallyu. Well, I hope you've had a good week, and yes, I am back, biasing IU more than ever and ready to get back to our regularly packed weeks of K-pop content. And I do want to quickly thank everyone for the nice comments and understanding about this week's break. Now in K-pop, this week was actually really quiet thanks to the Lunar New Year, but we do still have some things to talk about, namely BTS Jimin being hit with a double whammy of emergency surgery and COVID-19, April's Chaewon updating the public on her lawsuit, and new music from Ateez, Mark, and more. Before we get started, I want to quickly thank Hallyu's honorary producers. If you want to show off your bias group here, share your pics and weekly videos, and join a vibrant Discord community with watch parties, custom emoji, and more, all you need to do is support Hallyu on Patreon. Alright, now let's jump right in. This is your K-pop news update for February 6, 2022. Now let's start with COVID-19 once again, because just like last week, we had another slew of idols testing positive for the coronavirus. As you'll know from last Sunday's video, 27 different idols had contracted the virus, and this week it was another 24 different idols. So the long list of idols who tested positive this week are Just B's Jimin and JM, Coco and Butter's Rihei and Gaga, Kepler's Yujin and Dahyun, Six's Jinyoung, Fromus 9's Seoyeon, P1 Harmony's Intak, T1419's Xian, Kim Jae-hwan, Momoland's Jui, Drippin's Junho, Hyup, Yunsung and Jungkook, Pixie's Lola and Daejung, BBG's Shinbi and Eunna, The Boys' Sungyeon, EPEX's Baeksung, and BTS's Jimin. That list is way too long, and I really do hope that all these idols recover quickly and that we stop seeing so many new cases. But I do need to talk about Jimin some more because wow, did he have a rough week, and I feel so bad for him. That's because Big Hit shared early this week on Weverse that on January 30th, Jimin started experiencing abdominal pain and a sore throat. Upon arrival to the hospital, he was not only diagnosed with acute appendicitis, but his PCR test revealed that he also had COVID-19. So the next morning, he underwent surgery for the appendicitis that was successful, and thankfully the good news continued as Big Hit followed up with the announcement that as of yesterday, February 5th, Jimin had completed his quarantine and recovered from COVID-19 and was discharged from the hospital. I cannot imagine the stress that Jimin underwent this week, but I'm so happy he's recovered from COVID-19 and resting from his surgery, and I really hope that he's back to 100% very soon. Now let's switch gears and talk about April once again, because this week Chaewon took to her YouTube channel to provide an update on her defamation lawsuit and share details of the proceedings that she couldn't share before. So just to be extra clear, this is not related to any lawsuits that Hyunju or others close to Hyunju have filed against April members. This is a lawsuit that Chaewon filed herself against Hyunju for defamation relating to allegations Hyunju had made about Chaewon bullying and dating one of the managers at DSP Media. So recently the police did find Hyunju not guilty of defamation, and the decision is being appealed by Chaewon through the proper channels. In her video, Chaewon goes into great detail about what happened in the case, providing official documents and quotes, including the main problem of her witnesses not being deemed valid because of their close relationship with Chaewon. According to police findings, quote, testimonies by witnesses including the members of April, the group's agency president, the group's manager, the group's former member, and choreography teachers must be deemed unreliable due to their close relations to the plaintiff. It goes on to say, furthermore, it is difficult to determine if the claims can be considered wholly false information due to the fact that a member's relationship to a group and their personal feelings are distinctly subjective. Therefore, it is difficult to confirm the truth of the matter objectively. Regarding Hyunju's side, the police said, quote, additionally, evidence submitted by the defendant, including her diary entries, written testimonies by trainees who were under the company prior to her departure from the group, etc., cannot be labeled as, quote, false. So what does this all mean? Well, it kind of seems that the lawsuit is a moot point. I'm no legal expert, especially not in South Korea, but due to the nature of the allegations and the fact that the only people that could corroborate Chaewon's claims have been deemed to be too close to her to be reliable, there's really not much that Chaewon can do to objectively prove her case. So as I mentioned, Chaewon is appealing this decision, and unfortunately it still does not bring us any closer to a resolution about whether anything actually truthfully happened as per Hyunju's claims. And with all of that said, let's move on to a pretty quiet week that, again, thanks to Lunar New Year, was slower than usual. We'll kick things off with Ateez, who are pulling off a high-stakes raid in the song Don't Stop.
Hey, don't stop. Round and round.
Soloist Lee Young-ji dropped the song just this week, which is a great low-key song to chill out to. Yena is back with an awesome band concept in the performance video for Look to You. Kwon B's Mirror is a wholesome song about friends and loving yourself. Jamie is looking great in this very high budget MV for her new song Pity Party.
Throw myself a pity party. I'm double shazam in the party.
And last but not least, we have Mark making his solo debut with the first NCT Labs song. This is Child.
I'm a child 너가 바란 대로 못 돼.
As always, I want to know which songs you really enjoyed this week, even if it is a shorter week than usual. My pick is Yena's Look to You. I loved the song as a B-track when Yena's EP dropped last week, and this adds a whole new level to the song. And with that, let's take a quick look to what's coming up soon in Comeback Watch. We'll start with Cherry Bullet, who after over a year are finally making a group comeback. The new comeback will be here in early March. Astro members Moonbin and Sanha are going to be making a comeback in March as well, and better yet, the duo will be dropping a pre-release single in February ahead of the comeback. And finally, the VVG members are looking fantastic. Ahead of their debut, there have been individual member teasers on their YouTube channel that have me so hyped for next week. And now we'll get back to the news, starting with Hyuna and Dawn. K-pop's power couple are officially engaged, as Hyuna shared the announcement on social media that included a look at the seriously impressive custom rings that were made for the two of them. Congratulations, Hyuna and Dawn. For the first time ever, the Eternal Epikai are going to be joining JTBC's Knowing Bros. I have a feeling this episode will be especially boisterous. Some sad news for Secret Number fans, as this week Denise announced that she has officially left both Vine Entertainment and the group. Denise was a huge part of Secret Number and will be sorely missed in their lineup, but I do wish the best for both her and the group going forward. 17 member Sungkwan has revealed at a virtual fansign that the contracts that all 13 members renewed for with Playtest are good for 5 more years, so we will still have many more years of 17 music to enjoy going forward. On Friday evening, 88 Rising held a Double Happiness digital concert with some great guests. The lineup included Jackson Wang, Sori, Mino, Wusung, and many others. The Austrian Welt Museum Wine is displaying a new exhibit celebrating diplomatic relations between Austria and South Korea, and Winner's Mino is featured in the exhibit. His artwork is among 31 general and folk artists whose work is on display. Former J-Friend member Yerin has officially opened her own YouTube channel. This has been on Yerin's wishlist for a long time, but she was never able to do it well under Source Music, so I wish her the best of luck with this new endeavor. In a cute New Year's collab, Girls' Generation member Yuri and her cousin Song Sun from Tri-B got together to share their Lunar New Year's message. I can definitely see a resemblance there. In a worrying sign for the group, Major's member Beyond has removed the group from her bio, with all members unfollowing the group's Instagram account. After how ANS Entertainment mishandled the group ANS, this is definitely not a good omen for the group's future. SF9 member Insung has announced his upcoming military enlistment date. Insung will be part of the military band and will begin his enlistment officially on March 21st. And we'll round out this week's news stories with another SM remastered music video. This week, SM released a 4K version of the 2002 song Perfect Man by the legendary Shinhwa. Which MV do you want to see SM remaster next? And with that, we'll move on to another week in music shows where, thanks to the Lunar New Year, we only had 1 live broadcast and 2 winners this week. On M Countdown, which did not have a broadcast but crowned a winner, it was Got the Beat taking their second win for Step Back. And the second winner this week was Pentagon. They earned their first win for Feelin' Like on Music Bank. Who do you think will be next week's big winners as we get back to a regular schedule? Let me know down below in the comments. Alright K-popers, you're now officially caught up on everything going on in the K-pop world. Let me know how you feel about all the week's news and the new music we got in the comments. As always, if you want to stay caught up with the K-pop world as it happens while having tons of fun every single week, make sure you're subscribed right here to Hallyu.